Do you use Alexa a lot?
Oh, constantly.
Really? I had to look at it for a class I was in. I've never even used Siri on my phone that much.
Oh
Like
yeah.
it's just not something I'm used to doing. But the
I
little bit I played with it, I liked it.
I hardly ever use Siri, but we've got three Alexas and we talk to her all day long.
Okay.
I mean,
Well,
even
I
with,
have it now on the computer. I had to get a new computer. Your host
ah,
again, by the way.
okay.
And it sort of came with it, which was fine. But now that it's not like it's on all the time, like a normal one.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we got three of the Echoes, and so I mean, I'm
and you,
just constantly asking her for the weather or what time it is, or checking the news, and
oh, I'm way old school, and I'm younger than you, but I still have a clock. When I moved, that was one of the things that I kept with me, so I'd have in my bare bones living while I was transitioning,
yeah,
and one of
yeah.
those was the clock. Because I don't even look at the phone for the time. I
Uh,
just look at the clock.
yeah, we got rid of all the clocks, all the timers. We use Alexa for the timers.
Oh
Yeah,
no, that I would like, because when you're cooking, your hands are all really a mess, and
yeah.
then I have to stop and set my phone. So that if I had time to cook, that would be something I could see me using it for. But yeah, I'm an old school. I'm not as hip as some of you guys in the digital world, and I'm definitely not up with the other people, youngsters on my team.
Yeah, well, that's really a whole different ball game.
Yeah,
I can't keep up with them either. Uh,
yeah. I mean, I've worked in computers. I've always been really good. I'm doing web design, but I think I like my disconnect a lot, and that I don't know, it's just odd. Anyway, just curious.
yeah, all right. Here they come. Let me turn
Yeah.
recording back on. Hey, Mary.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Oh, I'm just wonderful. How are you?
Can't complain. Nobody listens anyway.
Yeah, and it wouldn't help. Hi, Karen. How are you?
Hi
Uh,
there. I'm doing
hi.
fine, thank you.
Good, good. Bonnie, how are you? You are?
Now I can talk.
All right, great.
I said I was glad to be here. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, we're just checking everybody's mic here, making sure I can hear everyone. Hi, Michelle.
Hello.
How are you this afternoon?
Great. Thank you. And you?
I am doing well. It's a nice sunny day in North Carolina. A little nippy for the season, but I'll take sunny.
Yay, North Carolina.
Hi, Patty. Are you from North Carolina?
Yes, I'm in Salisbury.
Salisbury? I'm in Southport.
Yeah, you're in a better place, close to the ocean.
Yeah, we were originally from up around Raleigh, but we moved down here about 4 years ago. Love it. Uh, okay, is that Raman? Is that correctly pronounced? Welcome. And let's see, Larry, are you there?
Yeah, I was on mute.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome. Glad to have you.
Ann Arbor, anybody else from Michigan?
Good. There usually are. Is the Michiganders there? Is it still snowing up there?
No, I just came back from a walk. It's nice.
Oh.
Thank God. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Oh, there's Lil. Hi, Lil. Good to see you again. And Sue, you there?
Yes, good afternoon.
Hi, good to have you back again.
Thank you.
We got number of other people signed up. We're going to wait just another minute, and then I'll start with my housekeeping, getting things organized. I think so far I've heard from everybody, which is the main thing. Anybody that wants to share their video, that's right beside the mute, but sharing your video is not required. It makes for a nice feeling, but right. So we've heard from Michigan and North Carolina. Where are other people from?
Texas, Austin.
Austin, okay. I used to live in Grapevine, Texas, so thanks.
From Gainesville, Florida.
Yeah, Florida. Okay, good. Sure, it's nice and warm down there.
It is.
Yeah.
Chicago.
Chicago. All right. Spent a lot of time in Chicago too.
I'm Mary's neighbor. I'm in Jacksonville.
Okay.
And I'm in Redding, California.
California. Okay, good. We have to have somebody anchoring each coast. So I got the East Coast, you got the West Coast, so we're good.
Yeah, but I'm not in San Francisco the way it looks here.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Detroit for me.
Detroit. Okay, Larry,
Yes.
good. And see, Mike is coming in. Mike Riley. Hi, Mike. Can you hear us? Yep, there you are. All right. So I usually take the first 4 to 5 minutes and give people a chance to get in from their other classes. And here's Wynn coming in. I'm going to go ahead and start doing some of the housekeeping and setup here and give people a few more minutes to come in. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And move to the correct slides. There we go. I'm going to move your pictures over to my other monitor where I can see you. There we go. Great. Let's see. All right. So I'm not gonna mute everybody right now because it's fairly quiet and we don't have a real big crowd, but if I start to hear background noise or echoes or anything, I will just go ahead and mute everyone. So do remember just to check before you ask a question or make a comment to see if you are indeed muted. And if you are, go ahead and unmute yourself. I need to make one change here. I forgot to turn something on when I shared my screen. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, so got that done. And I'm going to open up the chat. So in case anyone's having trouble with their microphone, I do have the chat open now and you can reach me via the chat. But if your microphone's working, please do just go ahead and unmute and ask your question out loud. That way I'll hear your question and everybody else will too. And we are ready, so let's go ahead and get started. So this is Alexa Intermediate Skills. So there is a basic Alexa class. This is the follow-on where we get into some of the more advanced skills. We're going to talk about routines and skills and other things today. I want to welcome you to the class. Thanks for joining us. My name is Wade Yarbrough, and I'll be the guide for your class today. Briefly about me, I'm from Mason, Tennessee, small town in West Tennessee. I have my PhD in psychology. It was experimental psychology. I'm not a clinical therapist. I work with pigeons. If you have any pigeons that need help, I can help them. And I taught psychology in college early in my career and late in my career. Most of my career was spent designing, installing, and training users on hospital information systems. So I've done a lot of adult training. I love teaching at Get Set Up though, because I get to teach people that are in the class because they want to be in the class, not because their employer told them to come to the class. And that's what we try to do at Get Set Up, is to create an environment where you can take classes you're interested in and take that along with other people that are interested in the same topic. And where you can also interact with the guide. So we like to make it a comfortable, interactive environment. We think people enjoy the classes more that way and probably learn more. The session is being recorded, and anyone who attends the class can request a copy of that recording. To do so, just send an email to help@getsetup.io, and I'm going to put that into the chat as well. In case anyone does not have that in their email contacts already. After class, when we're going through the closing slides, I'll talk about some other scenarios where you'll want to use that email address as well. We are live streaming the class, so I do want to welcome anyone that's joining us via live stream. Thanks for joining us. Hope you do enjoy the class as well. But do want to stress that in order to get what I call the full Get Set Up experience, where you can interact with the other participants as well as the guide, you do need to go to our website and register for the class. And finally, Get Set Up is not paid to promote any of the products or vendors that we're talking about. We are purely trainers. So as I mentioned earlier, today we're going to cover some of the more advanced parts of Alexa. We're going to talk about Alexa skills, Alexa routines, and Alexa Care Hub. And we can probably take some other related questions along the way as well. There is an earlier class, if you haven't taken that class, which covers a lot of the basic Alexa skills. So for this class, we assume you already have Alexa and know the basics, and we'll take it one step further. And if you haven't already, please mute or turn off your Alexa device. I feel like the movies where they would tell you to turn off your cell phones. But if you don't, she will hear her name and will probably start talking to you during the class. So if you've got one of the old versions, there is a mute on the front. It looks like a microphone with a slash through it. So you can mute her, and then you can unmute if you want to talk to Alexa during the class. But that way she won't be turning on.
Do you think we should have Alexa with us?
Should you have it? No, you really don't need, because we're not going to be doing anything with the Alexa device itself. So that's kind of the reason to have her turned off, because she does like to talk during class. Okay. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to talk about today is Alexa skills. I'm going to move things over. We're going to be using my phone because you do use your phone to set up a lot of the things we're going to be talking about today as in the other class. But if you're not familiar with Alexa skills are like apps on your phone. So just like I've got all these apps on my smartphone, Alexa skills are very much the same thing. Most of them are written by other companies besides Apple, just like most of these apps on my iPhone weren't written by Apple. So, Amazon in terms of the Alexa skills. There are some Amazon Alexa skills, but most of them are third party. And you can enable and disable skills using the Alexa app. Again, much like you would install and uninstall apps on your smartphone. There's over 10,000 skills available and growing rapidly. So lots and lots and lots of skills to pick from. And about the only difference that you have to remember is if you're going to use a skill, instead of saying play, you use the word open. And I'll demonstrate some of this as we go along to make it, hopefully make it more clear. So let me go ahead and open up Alexa. She's over here on my iPhone. So if you do have your smartphone and want to follow along on the phone, you can do that. I'm going to come back to the home screen so we're all kind of at the same place. So to get to the skills, you touch the more in the bottom right. And it's right there on the first screen, skills and games. So there's 3 tabs on this screen: Discover, Categories, and Skills. Let's start with Discover. And Discover is where it's almost like the home page of a website. It's where Amazon shows you some of the newest ones, editor's picks. So these are ones that the editor picked as the ones that they like. And then other curated and recommended one. And you can kind of see Alexa open dog teaser, Alexa calm my dog, Dr. Pooch, premium skills. I like apps. Some skills are premium skills. You have to pay a monthly subscription for it, just like some apps you have to pay a monthly subscription for. Again, similar to apps, a lot of them have a free version, but then if you upgrade to their premium, you get more of whatever it is. And they do get a little pesty about that, always wanting you to upgrade to the next level, but you know, that's kind of the price you pay. But you can go into here and scroll through it. You can do things like order food. There's pizza apps where you can order. There it is right there, Domino's. You can order Domino's pizza through Alexa. Lots and lots of things here. You can kind of scroll through. The next tab is categories, where it makes it a little easier to find things. You can look by category. And so again, newest arrivals, but then business and finance. Alexa, make me smart. That's a challenge. Ask PayPal to check my balance. So again, you can get the PayPal skill and connect it to Alexa and check on your PayPal balance. You know, you can open your American Express card. Go back to, again, just kind of showing you the breadth of what's out there. Lots of stuff around food and drink. Getting recipes, cooking and recipes, lots of stuff around recipes if you're a cook. Lots of games and trivia. So if you like playing, you know, especially word-oriented games, lots of word games you can play. A lot of the TV games, she has versions of it. And I won't belabor this, but health and fitness is another one that's has lots of good things. So if you like to do exercises, she has lots of different exercise routines that you can do. She's got a gratitude journal, 7-minute workout, etc. So lots and lots of things you can use there. And then finally, the last one is the ones that you've enabled. Enabling a skill is like installing an app. So if you go into, let me just show you, if I go into education and reference, if you click into one of these, you can launch it, which will enable it. So that's all you have to do to basically install them. And these are the ones that you've enabled under your skills. And when you go there, you're probably going to find some there that you didn't know you'd even done. Because lots of things that you do along the way, it actually is enabling a skill. If you've taken the basics class, we talked about how to do a flash briefing and enable things like NPR and CBS and NBC. Those are all skills. So if you look over here under your skills, anything like that that you've turned on will be here. So you've probably opened skills not knowing you've done it. What do I have? 84 skills enabled. So it's very easy to quickly get a whole lot of them. If you want to get rid of one, you can just touch on it, go into settings and disable it. Not that much of an incentive to disable them because there's no real cost of having them there. You just don't use them if you don't want to use them. But if you do want to get rid of them, that's how you can disable it.
Mine looks different than yours. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, instead of across the top, mine goes down the side.
You're in a different place. You're in adding devices, it looks like.
Oh, well, hold on.
Yeah, come back into the more and then click skills and games.
Yeah, I did click more. Here's home.
Yep, then
And then more down here on the right. It goes to add device.
Yep. and then do skills and games.
Skills and games. Okay. Yeah, but the first few things you were showing us that were all across the top, I didn't have that. Like like discover. Oh, wait, there it is. Okay, sorry about that.
Okay, yeah, sometimes it's a little confusing. No problem. All right, and just again, for some examples, I'm gonna unmute Alexa just to kind of show you a few of these, how they work. So Big Sky is a nice one. It's a much more comprehensive weather forecast than just the normal one. So I can say, Alexa, ask Big Sky for the weather.
Currently, it's 65 degrees with clear skies, remaining that way for the hour. You can expect heavy rain tomorrow afternoon and evening. Today's high was 66 degrees and felt like 65. The low was 44. Would you like to hear more details?
No, but if you say yes, she'll
Okay.
go into all sorts of things in terms of additional aspects of the weather. And it's also more localized. Big Sky will go pretty much with your address right close to your house as opposed to the nearest big city. So being in a hurricane area, I like to get the weather very close to home. So that's one. There's lots of sounds that you can use, music and sounds. So, you know, we have a lot of those that we're using, like ocean sounds. This is just kind of a fun one, but you can say, Alexa, open Calm My Dog. Are you listening, Alexa? Alexa, open Calm My Dog.
Welcome to Calm My Dog. Would you like the standard or premium version?
Standard.
Now playing Calm My Dog.
She just plays calm music. So if you're going away for the afternoon and you want to calm your dog while you're gone, you can do that. Alexa, stop. And one more just for funsies. Alexa, open Daily Stretch.
Today's stretch is for your neck. Shall I play it?
Yes.
Starting next stretch.
Here's how to stretch your neck with 3 simple exercises. Make sure you are gentle with your movements and stop if you feel any pain. You can do this sitting or standing up.
Alexa, stop. And you get the idea. She'll walk you through some
Thanks for using
exercises.
Daily Stretch.
You're welcome.
Come back later today or tomorrow to stretch again.
Okay, put you back on mute. Everybody can get the idea of how the skills work. So again, something good to do on a rainy afternoon. Was there a question? Okay. All right. And again, the only trick is you do have to remember to say open. Open says to open a skill versus just play and sometimes you can use the word ask, especially if it's something like Big Sky. You can also say open Big Sky. It works either way. So the next thing is routines. These are get a little more complicated. Routines take a bunch of things that Alexa can do and bundles them together into a sequence. It's like the flash briefing. If you do the flash briefing is a type of routine. But with routines, you can include music, news, alarms. You can control the smart home devices like lights and plugs and thermostats. It can include skills. So you can have her open a skill as part of a routine and pretty much anything else. You can trigger a routine to start a lot of different ways. Most of the time you use your voice and say a command, just like a normal single command, but you can have a voice command that will initiate a routine, but you can initiate them lots of other ways. For example, if you've set an alarm, you can have it do several things when the alarm goes off and you turn off the alarm. Or you can set it by time of day. So you can say at 2 o'clock, do this and that, or you can even do it based on sunrise and sunset, and it adjusts as sunrise and sunset changes throughout the year. So various ways to kick off a routine. So let's look at a few of those. So I'm going to go back home just to get everybody oriented. But we go into more again. And this time routines, which is right above skills.
Alexa.
And there's 2 tabs on this one, your routines and featured routines. I'm going to start over here on featured. So these are pre-coded, pre-existing routines that you can use that Amazon provides. So I flagged a couple to look at. So let's look at dinner time. So I'm going to touch this one and open it up and kind of show you the different parts of it. So in this case, here's the routine. The name of the routine is dinner time. This is how it's triggered. So in this case, it's triggered by a voice command. So when you say, Alexa, it's dinner time, it'll initiate this routine. So basically, when you say this, Alexa will, and then here's actions that she's already going to take. You can add more actions, but she's going to announce it's dinner time. If you don't know what announce is, announce. She will say it's dinner time on all the Echo devices in the house. She'll enable do not disturb on the devices, so nobody bothers you while you're eating. She'll set the volume to 5 for the Echo device in the dining room, and then start playing dinner music. So all of those 4 things happen in a series, and it's based on the device you speak to. So she's gonna set do not disturb for that device, set the volume for that device, and then play music on that device. And you can change this as well. So you could say on all devices or just a certain device in this case. And most typically it is the device you're talking to. So if you have 3 or 4 Echo devices, you may not want it to mute all of them or play music in all of them. Questions about that one specifically, or kind of the structure of how the routines work? Let me show you a couple more. And so this is a canned one. You know, if you think you want this one, you can click enable and it will activate it on your device. So otherwise you're just going in and looking at these. So I'm not going to activate that one. So what else did I pick? Wake up. Let's look at this one, wake up. So in this case, it's not voice activated. This one initiates when an alarm is dismissed. So if you set an alarm for 7 o'clock in the morning, when you tell Alexa to stop, when the alarm goes off, you tell Alexa to stop, it triggers this routine to start. So it happens based on something else, not on a voice command. And so Alexa's going to power on the lights if you've got smart lights, say good morning, tell you what the current time is, and give you the weather report. And again, it's going to do it from the device you're speaking to. Just unmute and ask you if you have questions. I'll show you a few more just to think the best way to understand these is to get some examples. There's one called practice time. So click that one. So this is where you've decided you're going to do your stretching exercises every day at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. On weekdays, you can take the weekend off. So basically at 3 o'clock every weekday, it's going to trigger this routine. When it triggers at 3 o'clock, it's going to announce time for you to practice. And then it gives you an hour to do your practice. And then it's going to say practice time is over after an hour. So it lets you know that you've done your hour. And here, this one's going to activate in the bedroom. Of course, and you can change this to whatever Echo device you want it to be. So those are some of the featured ones, the one that come with Alexa. I'll show you just a couple of 3 more. I'm going to go through all of these, but sunset lights is a good one because again, it doesn't use voice commands. So this is a simple one, but at sunset every day, and again, sunset changes day to day, she just turns the lights on. Very simple one, but it happens automatically at sunset, whether I'm home or not. So that's one of the nice things about it. If you're out somewhere, your lights are going to be on when you get home. Plus, it'll look like someone's home if you're not, in case you're away from home. Let's do one more, and then unless people have questions, we'll move on. Let's do good morning. I do this one every day. So I get up, I go into the kitchen, and I say, Alexa, good morning. So for this one, it's activated when you say, Alexa, good morning. And she turns on the lights in the kitchen. She tells me something new. So that's something about the day typically. She gives me the weather report, and then she starts shuffling music from my instrumental playlist. And this is done from the kitchen Echo device. Questions about routines?
I don't have a good morning, but I have a good night.
Okay, yeah, I've got a good night one as well. So I think good morning and good night may have been routines that I copied over.
Let me see.
Some of these I
Oh,
created.
I have it on your routines.
Yep, so it may be one that that was already met, or either you enabled it, or some of these may come automatically when you start. I'm not sure. I've been using Alexa so long, I don't remember what I did and what came with it.
I do kind of remember putting that on.
Yeah.
Enabling
It was one, I'm pretty sure, I know it was a featured one that I've copied over for the good morning and good night. I'm pretty sure they were both featured that I copied over and used. And of course you can bring them over and change it. It's like you change your playlist that you want it to play and those sorts of things. Some of them you have to customize a little bit. Okay, if no questions, let's move on. Alexa Guard is one that I want to talk about a little bit. This is again a nice one that's fairly new. So it's part of a home security approach. So Alexa can send you notification if your Echo detects certain sounds, such as a smoke alarm going off, a CO2 alarm going off, sound of breaking glass. She will alert you that there's something going on in your house, which is handy whether you're in the house in another bedroom, especially if maybe the bedroom's upstairs and she detects it down on the first floor. So to turn it on, we're going to go down to more in settings again. So to get to settings, you just scroll down a little bit and it's right here to settings.
Open Alexa.
And then go down to guard, which is right here. And this is where you basically set it up. And this is, there's part of it is free, and then part of it Alexa Guard is free. Alexa Guard Plus is $5 a month. But what you can do is, first up here, there's a toggle where you say whether you're home or whether you're away. So if you're, and this is primarily for when you're away. So I just clicked away. And so it's now automatically set to set the lights for away, which means it'll, if you have smart lights, it'll turn lights on and off. But probably the main thing here is it will detect a smoke or CO2 alarm going off, or if glass breaks. So if it detects something, what it's going to do is it will play a recording for you to hear, and it will send it to your phone. So you can actually listen to the recording of what she heard, or you can drop in to the device. So it'll let you know which device she heard it on. You can drop in and listen. So to see if you can hear anything. So if it was breaking glass, you can listen to see, is there somebody walking around in the house talking or whatever. So not a full-blown security system, but it's not a bad little addition for me, especially for the smoke alarm, because that's something that's, probably more likely to happen. You're off somewhere shopping and smoke alarm goes off, and you would be nice to know about it immediately. You can call a neighbor and say, hey, my smoke alarm just went off. Can you run over and check and see if something's going on, or see if smoke's coming out of the windows, especially if it's too far for you to get back home quickly. And when you get back home, you can just click home. But again, if you wanted to turn it on when you're sleeping, you could do that as well. You could just say away. and it will activate it even though you are home. But that's, I think, not a bad way to use it as well. So pretty simple. There's only one switch, not much to set up and use.
So you have to pay extra for the smoke alarm?
Nope, this is the free part that I've shown you here. In fact, let me go to the next slide. Here's the free versus plus. So for free, you get the smoke alarm, the glass breaking, and turning smart lights on and off to make it look like you're home. So if you're going to be using it while you are at home, you may want to turn that one off, and you can do that over here. And then the other pieces are call emergency helpline from your Echo, activity sounds. So if it's picking up sounds of activity in the house, I guess that means people walking around and talking is how it defines activity. Sounds of dog barking when it detects motion out. So it has a dog barking sound that it makes somebody think there's a dog in the house. Not sure about that one, but, and sound of siren when activity is detected. So you can make it like a burglar alarm. It'll play a siren. So that's what you get additionally for the $5 a month. You might have those sorts of things already with some other home safety system, but if you don't, it's fairly inexpensive to add those pieces onto it.
That's not bad if it calls emergency if you can't reach your phone.
Yeah, call emergency helpline, hands-free from your Echo. I'm not totally sure what that even means. I mean, you can, I think this is talking about,
Does it call 911?
it doesn't, because Alexa can't tell 911. I need to look into this one. I think is, if I remember when I looked at this, it's if you've got a home security system already, it will call your home security system and Alexa will say, I've detected something at this address, and then your home security vendor will then do what they would have done if they'd have picked it up. So it's like additional input into your, if you've got already have one of those security-based systems that I think is what that one is.
Would have been nice if it took the place of.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't think that's it, but I'd have to double check that one. All right. So any other questions about that one? Okay, let's see what's next. CareHub. CareHub is interesting. This is one that, again, is new. I think CareHub has only been out about maybe 3 months or so, 4 months or so. And what CareHub is designed is if there's a person that needs monitoring, either an elderly parent or someone that has some disabilities or is recuperating from surgery, whatever, someone that is living alone that needs some monitoring, is what CareHub is for. And it has an emergency contact feature, which allows the loved one to just say, Alexa, call for help. And it will call and message the caregiver. So you can already just say, Alexa, call, and give her the name of any one of your contacts, and it would place a call. The difference here is you can predefine who the contact is, who the caregiver is, and it will audio call and text that person as well. But what it's really designed to do is to determine if that person is following a normal daily routine based on how they're interacting with Alexa. Of course, that means they have to be an Alexa user and frequently use Alexa. But say, for example, and I can't get my dad to do this, but if, my dad is 92 and lives away from me. So if I could get him to use this, what it would do is that if he has a routine, so like every morning when he gets up at 8 o'clock, the first thing he does is ask Alexa what the weather is. And then maybe at noon, he checks the stock market. So he has a routine using Alexa. You can set up an activity feed so that Alexa will notify you when that person does activities. So I could see, okay, Dad has gotten up and checked the weather already. And then at noon, I can look to see if he's checked the stock market report or whatever you want to do. But it will send to your phone activities that they're doing with Alexa. You can set up alerts as well. you can set up an alert to notify you when there's no activity. So you can say, if there's no activity for a certain amount of time, let me know. So it'll send an alert to the caregiver. Or you can say when the first interaction of the day happens, to send an alert. So in that case, instead of you just having to look and see if things are okay, it'll actually send an alert to your phone. So if you say, if there's no activity by 10 a.m., since Dad's usually up at 8 o'clock, if he hasn't gotten up and asked what the weather is by 10 o'clock, I'm worried something's wrong, it'll let me know there's been no activity. So it's a pretty good way to monitor what is going on. You can set up that emergency contact notification where Alexa will call and message your phone number when a loved one uses their voice to ask for help. You can directly drop in or call the person. So again, if it's 10 o'clock and Dad hasn't interacted with Alexa yet, I can drop into his Alexa and just say, hey, Dad, are you there? And or even listen to see if I can hear him walking around, or if the radio's on or whatever. I can call him through Alexa, or I can send him a text message. So it makes it, you could do these things, or well, you can't do these things normally, because the other part of CareHub is that, Dad's on a separate Amazon account over in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm here in Southport, North Carolina. So we're not on the same Alexa account. So you can actually link two different Amazon accounts and work between accounts as if it was on one account. So that's also part of setting this up. So in this case, I can drop in across two different accounts. Normally, you can only drop into devices that are on your same account in your house. And to set that up, you just go to More over here. And it also has more information in here, but where it says See More right here, I'm going to scroll it up a little bit.
Open Alexa.
And here's CareHub. And it has more information here. And in the email that I'm sending out after class, I'll include some more information about this one. This one's a little more complicated because you do have to link the two accounts. So if you're going to set this up with somebody, first off, you both have to have Amazon accounts and have a Alexa device. But then one person sends an invitation to the other one, and then they have to accept the invitation, and that sets up a link, and then it has to link the two accounts together. So it's a multi-step process to set that up, but it starts here with create the relationship, and then it sort of walks you through it. In typical Alexa style, it's pretty straightforward, but it is multiple steps involved in getting that set up. Questions about the CareHub? Again, and there's no extra charge for that, so that's one of the nice things. So it can, I think it could be a nice addition, if you are, helping someone that's either temporarily having problems, they've had surgery or had a broken bone, and so you want to monitor them more closely than normal, or whatever the situation may be.
Yeah, I really like this. I'm a single woman alone, and I have a neighbor down the street who's also a single woman alone who has Alexa. So we could set this up for each other to make sure that we're okay, because especially now during this, COVID, I don't see anybody for days on end.
Yep, that's good point. I mean, it doesn't have to be even a family member. It could just be a friend, and you check on each other. Yeah, great idea. I'm going to jot that down. Okay. All right. So let's see. We got, I think, one other thing. We're pretty much done. Yeah. And I've sort of done this some already, but I want to talk a little bit about using your phone as an Alexa device, because it is now. So when you download the Alexa app, it is not a full functioning Alexa device. It's not the same as an Echo Dot, but it does a lot of the same types of things. So you can tap to talk with Alexa and use this to do any of the commands you could do from an Echo. So I can just tap here and say, Alexa, what's the weather?
Right now in Southport,
It's 65 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies and sun. Today's forecast has mostly sunny
Alexa,
weather with a
stop.
high of 65 degrees and a low of 55.
I'll stop her that way. So you can use this and just touch here and talk to her. You can actually set it up as hands-free, so it works like Siri. If you're an Apple person and you use Siri, you may have both of them competing a little bit. But to set it up to be hands-free, where I could just say, Alexa, and she would hear me without having to touch this part. We're going into settings again, more settings. Alexa app settings, which is right here. And enable Alexa hands-free. I have it turned off because I've got way too many Alexa devices already. They're already competing. So I turned this off so I have to touch the button. But if I was driving or something and I wanted to be able to talk to Alexa while I was driving, or I could turn this on and then turn it back off again later. So it's very easy to enable and disable the hands-free part. I'm going to go back home again. So you can also do drop in and announce from your phone. So if you're out in the yard or even across town and you want to just drop in and talk to somebody through Alexa as opposed to calling them with the cell phone, you can click on the communicate down here. And then you can call, but you can also drop in or announce. Again, the difference between drop in and announce is if you do drop in, you click drop in, and then you say which device do you want to drop into. And it opens up an intercom between the two. You can actually talk to the person back and forth, or you can just listen. So again, if you think something's going on, or you can just listen to see if there's anything happening. I use it more if I'm out in the yard and I just want to talk to my wife. I'll sometimes use Alexa and drop in. Announce is drop into all devices. So it's like drop in is you're dropping into one Echo. Announce, it drops into all the Echoes in the house, all the Alexa enabled devices in the house. That's handy if you've got multiple people in the house and you want to tell everybody dinner's ready, or if you just don't know where the person is in the house and you just announce it everywhere. But you just tap here and you can either type something. So that's the other nice thing about it. If you're in a meeting, but you need to let somebody at home know something, you could actually type it here, announce it in all the Echo devices at home without you having to use your voice. Meeting's running late. I'm going to be stuck here for another hour. You can let people know without having to use your voice, or you can use your voice, whichever way you want to do it.
Class.
And you can see down at the bottom, you can even add sounds. We won't talk about the first one, but if you're announcing dinner's ready, you could do a dinner bell, or you can sound a trumpet, etc. And then you can use it to play music from your phone, just like if you were at home. Yep. And this comes in especially handy maybe if you're in the car. And you have Bluetooth, so you're playing you can use your phone to play through your car stereo system, but you can just hit play and you can go in and play anything you could play using your Amazon. I'm linked to several news sources or musical sources. I got Amazon Music, Pandora, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio. So you could go to any one of those and play music on your phone and any Bluetooth devices you've got connected to your phone. We got several Bluetooth speakers, so I can connect to one of those Bluetooth speakers and use my phone to play music. So that's several ways that you can use the Alexa app on your phone. All right, we got time for a few questions. If anybody has any questions about anything I covered or anything in general, we'll make it open question time.
Are you going to have anything on the Alexa show, Echo show?
What anything in particular you were looking for? I mean,
Well, I just got one, but I'm not really sure how I use it or anything like that.
Yeah, because essentially, at least in just a limited extent, your phone is a show. So you noticed when I asked Alexa what the weather was, she put the weather on the screen.
Mhm.
Notice that, as well as telling me what it was. So that's basically what the show does. I know there are certain commands you can give for the show to actually tell her to show something. I think, for instance, if you, with Alexa, you can ask her for a recipe and she'll tell you about a recipe. But if you've got a show, and I don't know if that'll work on the phone or not, but Alexa, what's a recipe for chocolate chip cookies?
Okay, for chocolate chip cookies, I recommend chocolate chip cookies from Kitchen Stories. 30 minutes to make, serves 20. What would you like? Start recipe. Send it to your phone? Or here next recipe.
Alexa, stop. Okay, search. In that case, she didn't show it. Let me try something different. Alexa, show recipe for chocolate chip cookies.
Okay, for chocolate chip cookies, I recommend chocolate chip cookies from Kitchen Stories. 30 minutes to make, serves 20. What would you like? Start recipe. Send it to your phone? Or here next recipe.
Yep. So I don't think the phone is truly a show device, but those are some of the things I think you can do with the show. I don't have a show, so I can't really speak to that one very much. I don't know if anybody else does, but my understanding is you can tell her to show a recipe and she'll put it on the screen.
Yeah, and if you say send it to your phone, it'll send it to your phone.
Sorry about that. Speaking of my dad, that's my reminder to call my dad in 10 minutes. Okay, so sorry. So what was that, Viv? Or somebody that had a show?
Yeah, when you say that, if you say send it to your phone, it'll send the recipe and picture to you right to your phone.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a show, and maybe we'll add a class on using the Alexa show, because I know all the normal Alexa commands work on the show, but there are certain things you can do only on the show.
I'm not sure about that. Dismiss, Alexa, dismiss.
Oh, I win.
Wade, this is really amazing stuff. It's not likely that I'll use too many of them, but it's nice to see what are the options.
Yep. Oh, there is a lot there, which is the nice thing about Alexa. You don't have to use any of this stuff to get value out of it, but it's good to know there's lots of other things there if you want to use them.
Wayne, can I tell you one way I enjoy it?
Yes, certainly, Wayne. Go ahead.
On the computer watching you, and I can lean over and say, what's the price of Ford stock today? And she tells me right away. So it's a shortcut for me that way. I love her more and more every day, and I look forward to your show classes.
Okay, thanks, Wynn. Yeah, I mean, there are so many things that she does. We could do half dozen classes. My wife uses her to order things. Almost everything she orders, she does it through Alexa instead of going to the computer. So you can place orders, so many things. And in fact,
Ooh, I bet you can check your orders too.
Yep, you can. You can ask her for an update on an order.
Because Amazon is my best friend.
Both of us. Amazon gets most of my paycheck, it seems like.
Say, Alexa, where's my stuff?
Where's my stuff? Yeah, that's what.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay, we're about out of time, so I'm going to go ahead and move on if there are not any other questions. But I'm going to kind of use this as a plug, because one thing I'm trying to get started is a Amazon Alexa interest group.
Oh, good.
Where we would have people get together for an hour and just share ideas with each other, and and help each other figure out problems. I'm having this problem. Anybody else having the same problem? Did you figure a way to get this done? So, if you're interested in being part of a Alexa group,
yep, sign me up.
I'll tell you a couple of ways. Yeah, so I'll tell you a couple of ways to let us know about that.
Perfect.
All right, so that's the end of the official class. And I do want to thank you for attending. I hope you enjoyed the class. And as always, if you're a social media person, share your experience on social media and let people know about us. And if you want to say something, but you don't use social media, you can always send it to Liz at getsetup.io. And she's our marketing director, and she'll post it for you on our website. Related class is the introduction to smart homes. That's where we talk about how you can do those smart lights and smart plugs and controlling your household appliances with a smart home. It's not just Alexa. We talk about Alexa and Apple and Google as all ways to control smart homes. Well, in terms of closing, we'll go over what the closing is going to be. So after class, you'll get an email, and part of that email will be the class notes. And in the class notes, we'll have some links to websites to talk about some of the things we talked about today. There'll definitely be a link to CareHub, and I think there's several other links in there. And there'll also be links to related classes. So there'll be a link to that smart home class. And I'll try to put something in there about the interest group as well, but I'll show you another way to let us know about the interest group in addition to that in just a minute. If you'd like to recommend the class to someone else, you know, someone that has Alexa and you think they would like to take the class, you can post it on Facebook, or you can just send a link via email to that person or people, and it will be a link to the next time we're offering this class. There'll also be several other classes you can click on and take you right to the registration page if you want to take one of those classes. Give feedback, opens the feedback form. 2 questions, rate the session, 1 to 5 stars, rate the guide, 1 to 5 stars. Very quick and easy. We hope you're enjoying being part of the Get Set Up community. And if you want to take a more active and here it is, one thing you can do is either host an interest group. I would be looking for somebody to host that Alexa group, but also looking for people that want to just attend. And you can let us know by sending an email to help@getsetup.io. That's probably the easiest way to let us know. Just say, I'd like to be in the Alexa interest group, or I'd like to host the Alexa interest group. And we're starting to compile names and try to get that going fairly soon. If you want to suggest a new class that we don't teach, like an Amazon show class, let us know. If you belong to an organization that you think would be a good partner for us, let us know about that too. We'd love to know about other opportunities. And of course, request a copy of the recording. Be sure to include the name of the recording and the date you attended the class. And then the last link is View Schedule, which takes you to our website where you can book another class. A few things that are fairly new that I want to point out in case you haven't found these already. First is in the middle of the screen is View My Complete Schedule. If you click that, it's a shortcut to your schedule. It'll show you the things that you're registered for. And from here, you can launch directly into that class. And if you find out you can't come to a class, you can also cancel and free up that seat for someone else. You can still get to the overall schedule by clicking here, and that shows you all the classes by date and time. I mentioned the class was live streamed, and one of the ways we live stream to Facebook as well, but we live stream to our own website now. If you've seen this TV down here and wondered what that is, that's what this is. So if you click on that, it will take you into a class that's happening right now. Sometimes it's under my own class, but it's not. It's Shirley's class, Shirley's dance class. So you can just click in and watch a class that you're not registered for. It's a good way to maybe, I'm going to click out so Shirley's going. Maybe you want to preview a class that you're not sure if you want to take or not. You can drop in and watch it for a while, or you're just got some time and you want to just jump in and watch something without having registered for it, if it's maybe already in progress. So that's what TV does. If you're in TV, the guide can't see you. You can't interact with the guide. It really is like watching it on TV instead of being part of it. But that's a new addition. If you know what you want to take, I think the easiest way to find it is just to put a key term in the search up here. So if you're looking for that smart home class, you can just type a word and there it is, Introduction to Smart Homes. and that will take you to the registration page for that class. One other new thing that's just happened a few days ago, if you're going to book something, if you click book, will eventually book. You can invite a friend from here. So again, if you're going to take that home automation class and maybe you know some other friends that are interested in the same topic, you can invite them so you can all take the same class together. So I can just say invite a friend, and you can enter the email address here, or you can copy a link and email it to several people if you want to do that. That way you can all take the same class. And the last thing is something people have been asking for a while. And that is, if there's a guide or maybe even several guides that you like to follow, you can just type their name now in the search bar and hit enter. And it will show you all the classes that they're going to be doing in the next 2 weeks. Scroll through and register for any classes right from this page. And the other thing that people keep asking, and it's still coming, I just checked yesterday, is the history, which is not here, but that is coming. The classes you already have taken. That is being worked on and will show up pretty soon. I'll let you know as soon as it arrives. Okay, so I got done 1 minute early. I want to thank you all for attending. Thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed the class, and I certainly hope I see you again in another class really soon. Thanks, everybody. Have a great afternoon.
You do the same, Wade. Thanks again.
Thank you. Thanks, Wynn. Bye-bye.